and welcome to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel. Today, we have the great opportunity to sit down and talk with Michelle Perry, who is Hampton City Schools Teacher of the Year. So welcome to HCS Connects.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, you were named Teacher of the Year in May of last school year, but when you were announced, it's actually for this school year that you're representing Hampton City Schools. So I know that some people get a little confused with that because you were the 2021-2022
Yes.
Teacher of the Year, named last May, correct?
Yes, and it was very confusing at first because I'm like, oh, I'm this school year. And they're like, no, you represent all of our teachers for next school year. And I actually looked and said, oh, okay, so that's how it works. So it is for this coming school year.
Which, I mean, and if you really think about it, it does make a little bit of sense because you're not named until May. You have a month left.
Yeah.
So we really want you to be able to have some of those perks and represent the school year for the next year where you get a full year of recognition.
Yeah, and to enjoy it to the fullest, of course.
So you are from Phoebus High School.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about what you do at Phoebus, what you teach, any kind of leadership roles, because I know that you do well more than just teaching.
Well, I have been teaching at Phoebus since 2009. That was my first year. And I came on as a photography teacher through CTE, through the CTE department, Career Technical and Education. And I enjoyed it so much. It's one of those things that I take my passion and I'm able to share it with the students. So it's really, really fun. And then when we changed to the academy model, which if everyone is not aware, Hampton City Schools is fully immersed into the Hampton City Schools with the academy model. I was part of the Digital Video Production Academy, which I love just as much. I have the ability to be the academy lead for 3 years. And that allows me to be able to speak to other teachers that are in my academy. And we co-teach together different subjects, project-based learning activities. I've had the opportunity to attend Tennessee to see their model and to bring some of that great information here back to implement it through Phoebus. Not only do I teach photography, I teach video production, which I enjoy, communication, graphic design, and outside of that, I'm always the person that you see with a camera around my neck.
You are,
so I am
you really are.
Yeah, I'm at football games, I'm at graduations and debates, any special events. If you can think of it, that Phoebus, because I feel that it's so important to promote the positivity at our school, you know, and Phoebus has a lot going on. I do the school website. I also do all the social media. So from Twitter to Instagram, all the way down, I'm the person that makes sure that all of our great graphics go out, that our parents are informed, that our students know what's going on. I help with the yearbook staff to make sure that there are plenty of pictures that when that student 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now flips through that yearbook, that they're able to see all the opportunities that they had at Phoebus. And it's one of those
What do you not do?
I will whip out a camera with my coworker, Michael Price, and we will come up with all types of things for our gym where we have cameras there and screens, and we are immersed in so much in trying to advertise for Phoebus and make sure that, like I said, that positive light is shined on one of our amazing high schools here at Hampton City Schools.
And as you know, we are the tellers of our story.
Yeah.
And you do an amazing job. We follow you and we try to repost and retweet the things that are going out from Phoebus High. With our high schools, our 4 high schools are fully immersed. We have our 16 academies and our 41 pathways. And our graduates this past school year, our class of 2021, was the first graduating class of the academies. So you got to see and work with those students from their 9th grade year
all
through
the way
their senior.
through. And that was amazing.
And now it's hard to believe, like the class of 2022, they're the second graduating class.
So when we started this and we had the opportunity for implementing the whole program, we wanted to document from the beginning of the 9th grade all the way to graduation. And we were so thankful that the students had the opportunity to have the parade and have that opportunity to have graduation in the Coliseum. And I thought, which was kind of touching for me, makes my hair stand up when I talk about it, passing the flag on.
Yeah, that
so
was
those,
really
yeah, I love that. And a lot of people, if you look, I was the person sitting there at graduation, and I'm taking pictures during graduation. And one of my photos, of course, were the students that were that academy. They were passing the flags on to the next host or representative for that same academy. And I felt good to see those students that be able to leave out and give that to the next group. So yeah, that was one of my photos that I love, that I cherish from that opportunity, that experience.
Well, and as we said, they're the first graduating class. And the academies, they have grown so much as far as resources and opportunities. I mean, I've had the opportunity to be in your classroom from the very beginning, 4 years ago. And just how that's changed even at Phoebus. Tell us a little bit about what your classroom used to look like and now what it looks like.
Anyone who's attended Phoebus or went to Phoebus, they remember the old graphics classroom at the end of the technology hallway. And at one point, our classroom went from producing T-shirts and being able to create engraving glassware and buttons, and the students were really immersed in graphic. We also have our beautiful iMac computers that allow the students to be able to edit photography and video production. And we went from a full, kind of like a makeshift classroom that when the students walk in, they will say, what was this classroom when they first built the school? And I said, I think it was for automotives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I said, so we, let's do the history on it, let's look on it. And it was an automotive classroom right by the two driveways that allow for an older, of course, car to come in so the students can work. But as New Horizons developed, then that class was moved out and it was used for graphics. And when the Academy model came and they walked through the room and said, we're gonna do a full remodel. And me and Mike were excited because we were just like, can we have this? And we need cameras, and we need a set, and we need, and
all
to our
green
amazement,
screens
green screens, and we need, curtains and backdrops, and surprise to our surprise. And we're so thankful that Hampton allowed for that to come through. And I hate to say it, because of COVID, it allowed them to be able to get in and get that construction done and completed. So by the beginning of 2021, school year, the 2020-2021 school year, we're completely with a brand new 21st century model classroom with a maker space and 2 studios with full equipment, control room, and we're excited when the kids come back in this school year that we can put some hands on some equipment and they can do some full learning and get that full experience. It's going to be really great. I'm so excited for it.
So obviously, COVID has impacted education in many ways, but there have been only a few silver linings, and I say a few, but that is one of them. That even though we had to switch in March of 2020 to completely virtual and start the school year last year virtual, we still had staff in our schools, and with no bodies in the schools, we put other bodies in there to do the work, to do that renovation. And so, that type of classroom at Bethel, we've got the courtroom, just all different pieces. When the kids come back this year, they're going to be amazed. Because there have been extreme transformations in our learning spaces.
Definitely.
That we kept that going while we didn't have the students in the spaces, but we had workers there.
Yeah, and me and Mike enjoyed that opportunity when the students were sitting at home, that we had the ability to photograph and create videos so they could do virtual tours. And it's so neat now that Hampton City Schools actually has the full virtual tours on the website where a parent or anyone can fully just kind of go through the building and see. And that we were kind of like the beginning portion of that, where a student can actually see some of the great things, the bank at Kickingham, the law space, and the medical field over at Bethel. What we have over at Phoebus, we're getting a whole new culinary building. And then, of course, over at Greenhouse over, and some of the beautiful space at Hampton. So it's really been great.
Yeah. So obviously, there's a lot on your plate. Teaching alone is beyond a full-time job.
Yeah.
I used to be a teacher. I'm married to a teacher. I know how much work that is, juggling classroom management and social emotional learning and lesson planning and grading papers and communicating with parents. Like, our teachers are complete rock stars. And then you just listed to us a million other things that you do to support Phoebus. So no wonder you were selected as Teacher of the Year for Phoebus High School.
Yeah, and again, it's like I said before, when I finally found out about the opportunity to be Hampton City Schools Teacher of the Year, it takes a team. It's a team work over there. I don't want to, again, I'm not a toot my own horn type. I do ring the bell from time to time. But the reality is it's a team effort. It is a team effort.
And we've got great teams.
Yeah, and over at Phoebus, we say that Phoebus family, and our family is with a PH. So
I've seen it. I really like that.
I really like that.
So you talked about it's a team and us announcing Teacher of the Year. So last school year, we brought all of the Teachers of the Year. Actually, we had to split it because that was our very first in-person recognition, but we wanted somehow to recognize our Teachers of the Year. So we had an elementary session where we only brought the elementary teachers and their principals. Dr. Smith, our superintendent, was here, our school board chair, Dr. Kim Richardson, and we live streamed it so that families could watch. And that's where we announced our HCS Elementary Teacher of the Year. And then a few hours later, after we cleaned and got it all back together again, we had our secondary teachers come in. That's where you had the opportunity. And as well recognized each of the schools and then announced the middle and high school Teacher of the Year. So you were here at Jones Magnet Middle in the forum, and you were announced the Hampton City Schools High School Teacher of the Year. Who was watching? Anybody watching on that live stream?
Wow, yeah. Of course, my mom and dad have always, I kind of kept it a little quiet. I did, my husband and my daughter was at VCU. She hadn't graduated yet. I called her and I said, here's the link. My son works and he was trying to watch on his cell phone while he was at work. So my immediate family I shared it with. And of course, as soon as I walked out of Jones, my phone was buzzing. And it was really great to see a lot of my classmates from Bethel High School, class of '89. They were very supportive. I've got family members, extended family members. It was one of those things, and even my former students, when I taught at Hampton High School, and I took a break from teaching and I went back into the industry, working at Newport News Shipyard. They were, you should have, yes, and so it was really good. It was really good.
That was high school Teacher of the Year for the division.
Just for high school,
which is a big accomplishment.
And I was very excited.
And then we brought you back to a school board meeting, and that's where we recognized the elementary, middle, and high school Teacher of the Year and announced the overall 2022 Hampton City Schools Teacher of the Year. And lo and behold, it was Miss Michelle Perry.
Yes, I was very surprised, I have to say it. I was very surprised, and again, kept it very small. I did have the opportunity to bring someone with me, so it was a little further along. We were opening up our doors a little bit more, so my husband was able to come, of course, with a camera. But again, I called only my mom this time. I just didn't want to jinx it. And my mom and dad were sitting at home, and they were watching the school board meeting. I sent the link. And it was that moment that I was just very surprised. But again, when I walked away, even Mr. Harris, Michelle, you're deserving of it. And I think even the middle school and elementary school teacher, they were amazing. They were amazing. So my competition was extremely high. And out of the three of us, any one of us could have gotten it. The middle school teacher, he was amazing. He was from straight out of the business into teaching and his reflection. And the elementary school teacher, of course, she was able to.
Her enthusiasm.
Yeah, she had that enthusiasm with her classroom and her students. So it was really some high competition there. And I was very thankful. I really enjoyed it. I do. And I still enjoy it today. But we bring through some amazing Teachers of the Year through all of the different schools.
We've got amazing teachers.
Yeah, so it could have been one of the three, but I was very thankful that it was me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up for today, what are you most looking forward to for this school year?
Oh, wow. I'm so excited that we're having the kids back in the building. I miss the students. I miss that interaction. I was really thankful that we were able to come up with a way to still have teaching through Zoom. But I miss the kids. And, just that computer, It gave us an opportunity to still teach, not the way that we would have liked, but it was safe. And that's what we're always looking out for our students. But I can't wait for September the 7th.
No, so don't
Rush it.
Don't wish the year went quite yet.
But I can't wait for the kids to come back in the building, to just have that interaction where we can talk and we can, do different projects, and for them to be able to see the space that we have developed for them, and just to put that equipment back in their hands. I can't wait.
Well, and I'm sure
so
that they're excited as well.
Yeah, some of them are, and they've reached out, and even through social media, we see the comments. But I don't think that I'm the only person that feels that way. It's so many other teachers who can't wait to get those kids back into the desk. And that means all of the kids, not half and half or some in a little bit, but as many of those kids back in the classroom. I'm excited.
Well, good. Well, the excitement is there. We're excited that you're representing Hampton City Schools this year. And thank you so much for being here today. And we won't keep you so you can get back into that classroom and get it ready for next week.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. And yes, can't wait to get back in the classroom.
Thanks. And thank you for joining us on HCS Connects. And remember, it's easy to stay connected.